When the end destroys you.
Anything less would be civilized.
Hello, welcome, friends, fellow wisdom seekers, fellow truth seekers, to the brave new world order, straight out the dungeons of podcasting. I am your host, Brandon St. One. Thank you all so much for joining me for this episode. Today, we are going to dive into the abyss. We are going to read a document called The Secret Covenant. This document details the elite plans to enslave us and dumb us down and pit us against each other using fear and other tactics. We'll get into all the juicy details when we read the document, but first, let's talk about where the document came from. It was posted way back in 2002 on a bank website called bankindex.com. And it was posted anonymously, and it did not say that John D. Rockefeller or anybody wrote this. The reason why I mentioned Rockefeller is because when you look this document up to verify it, or see if anybody else talks about it, the only thing I find about it is Snopes and PolitiFact, and the only thing they mention about it is that no, John D. Rockefeller did not write this letter. It has not been attributed to him. But other than that, it doesn't make any claims that it's not true or not happening. I think this is a common tactic they use. They fact check things and they say, no, John Rockefeller didn't write this, so it's not real or it's not true. And the funny thing about it is they claim that John D. Rockefeller did not write this letter because it mentions video games in it. But it does not mention video games. You'll see, because we're going to read through it. I'm going to talk shit throughout it. It's going to be fun. But what I was saying was John Rockefeller wasn't alive when video games were invented. So Snopes claims that this letter is not real or it's not true because of that reason. But it doesn't mention video games. It says games. They'll keep us distracted with games. And games have been around for a very long time. So like I was saying, this document was posted to this bankindex.com. And this website's awesome because somebody captured it with the Wayback Machine. So you can go look at this website from 2002. And it's awesome because it reminds me of the old days of the internet. I was like 20 years old then. And you forget, because now the internet is way different looking. Websites look way better, way more sleek. The old ones were like all cluttered up, and it's funny to go back and actually see a website from back then. And it has like banking news on it, stocks and all types of shit. But if you go through the news, there's tons of like awesome conspiracy theory articles and stuff too. For example, you go on the homepage, and I'm going to post a link. I highly recommend you go through and check out some of the headlines that were on here from 2002. But you can go on here and there's regular news articles like wealth destruction in bank stocks getting serious. But then the next one is like NWO tyranny. Men are being kicked in the teeth. And there's also like a bunch of shit about Enron because that was happening at the time. And then there's like articles like, what is the psychological makeup of the global controllers and what are their plans? So like shit like that. Even a mention of Alex Jones on here way back. Pretty cool. Definitely check it out. So I don't know who wrote The Secret Covenant. I don't know if it was the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds. All I know is when we read through it, you'll see what I mean when I say that a lot of this shit is coming true. And if you just look around, it seems to make a lot of sense. So either somebody completely fabricated a letter, a document, and they just kind of could see what was happening and they knew what was to come because they just are on point, or some group of people have a blood oath in a secret covenant, and they want us enslaved and dead or whatever suits them. So come along with me on this journey through the secret covenant, and you can make up your own mind about things, but also hear my 2 cents, because I'm going to talk shit throughout it. So thank you all for joining me for this episode of the Brave New World Order. If you like the podcast, please share this with your friends, your family. Like the episode, leave a thumbs up, a star, smash the like button, whatever you have to do, wherever you listen to podcasts. I really appreciate from the bottom of my heart everybody that listens to the podcast, that's joining me on this journey. And I also appreciate everybody that helps the show, supports the show, likes, shares, all that good stuff. Thank you all so much. Let's swan dive headfirst into the Secret Covenant. All right, let's read the Secret Covenant and talk shit about it. The Secret Covenant. An illusion it will be, so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. All right, this document is making a lot of sense right off the bat. Anybody who goes against the narrative is automatically demonized. You can see that happening now. And the more you go off the narrative, the more insane they'll label you. If you take note of everything that's happening right now, you can see that kind of shit happen in real time. Let's keep going here. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time, so as to never bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always, and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak, while pretending to do the opposite. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. From all this, their children will be born dead, and we will conceal this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything that surrounds them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. That sounds about right. Everybody knows now. It's coming out more and more. All the stuff about seed oils, all the stuff about how much plastic is in each and every one of us, even young babies and children. There's articles that came out last year, 2023, even in 2022, about how every adult has like a credit card size worth of plastic in us throughout our whole body. And keep in mind, this document was posted to that Bake Index website back in 2002. So 22 years ago. So as we continue reading through it, just take note of the current state of affairs in this world. Let's keep it moving. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good, with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. We all know they use celebrities to push products, and most of them are poison, junk food. And look what happened and what is still happening with the jab during the COVID pandemic and all the stuff during the pandemic, too. The masks, all the kill grandma phrases. They had all the celebrities, the usual suspects on TV, smiling in your face, telling you what to do, telling you to get vaccinated. Even right now, what's coming up? The big Super Bowl here in American culture for those outside of the United States. And right now is when all the products are pushed, all the poisons, and all the vaccine commercials are definitely in high gear. One of the major superstars, Travis Kelce, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, he's the guy in the commercials endorsing the jab. And he's also the guy that's dating Taylor Swift. And she's going to all the games. And all you see is like headlines about all this bullshit. My point is how it falls in line with this document, though. And it's very similar to the Toronto Protocols, which I did an episode or two on that. Serge Monast, who is a journalist. If you don't know about the Toronto Protocols, go listen to those episodes. And also go check out the episode that I did that's called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, which is a secret document that was supposedly found in a fax machine by mistake that details plans that are like this, silently controlling the masses while waging war on them at the same time. It's pretty good shit. Go back, check out the back catalog. But let's keep this moving here and hear more about how they want to kill us all with poisons. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it's for their help. We will start early on when their minds are young. We will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases, for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. Yo, this is all adding up. How many people are on antidepressants? How many people are obese, unhealthy, and they go to the doctor? And what does the doctor do? Just give them pills, give them all types of meds. They don't really try to get them in their body, in their life, healthy. For sure, the United States has a mental health problem, or it's like a purpose problem. People don't have a purpose in life, they don't have a direction, and then they just get prescribed pills. They get diagnosed with some kind of mental illness that they can fall back on. And I'm not saying there isn't mental illness, but I know for sure that you go to the doctor and you're kind of bummed because your life sucks. You're not really taking care of yourself. You're not really living the life that you want to live. And you go to the doctor and you tell them that. They're not going to try to help you and try to get all the other shit in order. First thing they're going to do is give you some SSRI, something like Zoloft or Prozac. And sure, that might be your primary care. And he might send you to a psychiatrist to try to figure some shit out. But the psychiatrist is probably going to tell you that you have depression or bipolar 1 or 2 or something, and then try to put you on some kind of drugs, some kind of fucking brain altering, mind numbing drugs. And like I said, I'm not saying there aren't mental illnesses. There definitely are, but it seems like they just give out diagnoses all willy nilly nowadays. When most of the time, your life sucks, probably because you're not fulfilling something that's inside of you, that's nagging away at you, because you're living a life that everybody else told you you had to live, that you had to do all these things that were already created before you were born. And you were born into this world, and by this age, you were supposed to do this. And by this age, you were supposed to do that. And then you were supposed to go to college, and you were supposed to get a job, and you were supposed to put money into a 401k, or whatever the fuck you were told to do. I just think a lot of people aren't living the life and finding who they truly are. They're spending all this time running around in circles, doing what they think they should be doing, and they're miserable. And then they attach themselves to these identities to make them feel like part of something whether it's political groups or activist groups or the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whatever bullshit they get obsessed with, and they think that's their identity and who they are, but it ain't real, any of it. And that might be part of why so many people are so fucking miserable. That's just my take on things. What do I know? Let's keep moving. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods so that they may never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games so they may never be one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we shall find ways to implement mind altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective, but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we shall prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. We will foment animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we shall extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best. We will make them rip each other's hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. The hate will blind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be too busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. Let's talk about fear a little bit and how everything that happens seems to be driven by fear. Look at the pandemic. Was there even a virus? Was there even a novel coronavirus going around? Or was it just fear? It didn't affect the Amish people. That's one thing. If you don't watch TV, it didn't seem to affect you very much. Look at the current situation we are in right now. People on the left think Trump is Hitler. If you listen to my last episode, I had a compilation of the mainstream media losing their minds, talking about Trump executing people. So much fear. That's how they get people to vote for people like Joe Biden. It's definitely through fear. With that being said, though, all this talk about factions, Trump might be part of this whole thing. I've talked about this many times before. Trump might be the other faction that is being used to corral people to the other direction so that we are divided, so that there is so much hate and anger and fear. They still got people all over both sides believing that a man or a woman, one person, is going to come in and change things and make things better and change the system. But I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe. I don't want to be black pilled, but I don't think it's going to come from anybody in that system. It's most likely all rigged, like the letter said. We won't even know who they are. All right, let's keep it going. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger through images and sounds. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. This they must never know. They must never know that color is an illusion. They must always think they are not equal. Drop by drop, drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom that they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we shall accuse them of crimes and present a different story to the world, for we shall own all the media. We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. Yup, they definitely own all the media. I mean, even since this letter came out and was posted to this website 2002, 22 years ago, most media companies have been conglomerated. There's only like four main big media companies. So all that news flows right through the same companies, filtered, possibly completely fabricated, just to control you and have you thinking that the world is a certain way when it might not be that way at all. But there has been some good news recently. All these mainstream media, newspapers like the LA Times, and countless other ones here are laying off and firing tons of shitty ass journalists. And it's definitely a really good thing. But at times like these, we have to be vigilant and pay attention because there's layers, right? We won't know who they are. And they could definitely be infiltrating the independent media, or they already did a long time ago. So we have to be careful. Just be aware of that situation. It definitely looks like we're racking up some victories. Independent media is doing way better than the mainstream media. More people are realizing that they're being fed lies. But at the same time, like I said, just be careful who you trust. Question everything and everybody. And just be aware that there are layers and layers to the deception. Let's read more of the secret covenant. Moving on. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of their own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not of us. The recruits will be called initiates and will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of passage to higher realms. Members of these groups will think they are one with us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this, for they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face, so close they will not be able to focus on it until it's too late. Oh, yes, so grand the illusion of freedom will be that they will never know they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time immemorial. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we shall perish then. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never, ever find out what we have done. For if they do, we shall have no place to run. For it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions will have been revealed, who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of our present and future lives. For this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. This covenant is sealed by blood, our blood. We, the ones who from heaven to earth came. This covenant must never, ever be known to exist. It must never, ever be written or spoken of. For if it is, the consciousness it will spawn will release the fury of the prime creator upon us, and we shall be cast to the depths from whence we came, and remain there until the end of time of infinity itself. The end. Ain't that some shit, right? I wasn't expecting the ones who from heaven earth came line to be thrown in there. That's a Watchers reference, everybody. And if you've been following this show for a while, you probably know about the Watchers, the Archons, and also check out the Gods of Eden, which talks all about this. These controlling factions have been running this shit for a very long time. And I noticed that they said we must never figure out that we are equals. And according to the Nag Hammadi texts, that we aren't equals. We are actually more powerful than them. And the divine, the creator's spark is in us. And they don't have that ability. So it upsets them. And that's why they're so mad at us and they hate us and they want to destroy us and lead us astray. This document makes me wonder if the people that wrote it are also useful idiots that are being used by something else, something more nefarious than even them, and that they are being promised certain enlightenments as well. Layers and layers. I'm telling you, they created a matrix all around us. We might not be in the matrix like the movie, like in a pod, but most of reality has been fabricated, and most of this shit is simulation. It's not real. It's created. It's fake. I'm not saying fake like a movie. Shit happens. But most people's worldview is being shaped a certain way, one narrative to the next. Like the document says, drop by drop. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this journey, everybody going through this document. I loved reading it. I think it gives us a lot to think about. I think a lot of this shit is playing out. The document came out in 2002, like I've mentioned, and it doesn't matter if it was written by Rockefeller himself. A lot of it's coming true, no matter who wrote it. So if you enjoyed this episode, please take a second to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, your family, strangers, anybody that will listen to you. That's the best way to help out the podcast. If you're enjoying it, spread the word, crack that algorithm. Let me know what you think about this episode. You can reach out, email me, the Brave New World Order podcast at gmail.com. Send me a comment on Twitter/X at Brave NWO podcast. Let me know what you think. Head over to the website, the Brave New World Order podcast.com. Subscribe to the email list. You can listen to the episodes over there. You can comment on the episodes on the website. Head over to Spotify. Check out the Q&A. Help crack that algorithm with that. It's the best thing you can do for the Brave New World Order podcast. If you're enjoying it, I greatly appreciate everybody out there that supports the show and helps out, spreads the word. There are a couple links if you want to send a donation in the show notes and also on the website. Check it out. You'll be hearing from me very soon. But in the meantime, stay positive, question everything, think for yourself. Much love, everybody. Peace out.